OpenAI CEO Sam Altman posted a statement that felt less like a prediction and more like a farewell. He reflected on how software used to be written character by character, line by line, requiring enormous effort and expertise. He suggested that the world already feels distant. To many people, it sounded like progress. To thousands of workers who have watched AI reshape their industries, it sounded like something else entirely. It sounded like a eulogy. For years, we were told that artificial intelligence would transform the economy. It would eliminate repetitive work, increase productivity, reduce costs, and free humans to focus on higher-value tasks. Some went even further. They claimed AI would replace entire professions: programmers, designers, writers, analysts, lawyers, customer support agents, eventually, maybe everyone. Corporate leaders raced to embrace the future. Investors poured hundreds of billions into AI companies. Businesses announced automation strategies. Layoffs followed. The message was simple: machines are taking over, humans are becoming optional, but something unexpected is happening. The AI revolution is running into reality. And reality is proving much messier than the sales pitch. Across industries, companies that rush to replace human workers are quietly discovering that automation isn't working quite the way they expected. In fact, many are reversing course. Recent workforce studies have revealed a surprising trend. A significant number of employers who reduced staff while implementing AI systems have already begun rehiring for those same positions. The reason is simple. The work didn't disappear. The workload didn't shrink. The AI couldn't reliably handle everything on its own. The assumption was that AI would function as a digital employee that never sleeps, never complains, and never makes mistakes. Instead, many organizations discovered that AI is better at assisting humans than replacing them. That's a very different business model. The first major warning sign is something economists and software leaders are calling the junior death spiral. For decades, companies hired junior employees to perform relatively simple tasks. New programmers fixed bugs. Junior analysts prepared reports. Entry-level workers handled routine assignments. The work wasn't glamorous, but it served an important purpose. It trained the next generation. Every senior engineer was once a junior engineer. Every experienced architect started somewhere, but many companies saw AI handling these beginner-level tasks and assumed they no longer needed entry-level workers. Why hire a junior developer when an AI can generate code? Why train employees when software can complete the work instantly? At first, the logic seemed sound. Then, the executives realized something. If you stop hiring juniors today, where do your seniors come from tomorrow? Experience cannot be automated into existence. A company can generate code with AI. It cannot generate wisdom. It cannot generate years of debugging experience. It cannot generate deep architectural understanding. And now, some firms are discovering that they have accidentally broken their own talent pipeline. The people who would have become tomorrow's experts were never hired. The consequences are already appearing. Many organizations have plenty of AI-generated output, but fewer employees capable of understanding, maintaining, or improving it, which leads to the second major problem: technical debt. On the surface, AI-generated code looks impressive. Developers describe a problem. The AI writes hundreds of lines instantly. Projects move faster. Deadlines are met. Executives celebrate increased productivity. Everyone wins, at least initially. The problem is that software isn't judged solely by how quickly it's written. It's judged by how easily it can be maintained. AI excels at generating plausible solutions. It struggles with long-term architectural thinking. Instead of simplifying systems, it often expands them. Instead of eliminating complexity, it frequently hides complexity behind layers of generated code. The result is a growing mountain of technical debt. Code bases become larger, dependencies multiply, systems become harder to understand. When something breaks months later, engineers discover that nobody fully understands how the pieces fit together, not even the people who approved it. One developer compared the situation to mass-producing furniture without instructions. The chairs get built faster, but when one breaks, nobody knows how to repair it. Organizations are beginning to realize that generating software and maintaining software are completely different challenges. The faster AI creates code, the more valuable experienced humans become, because someone still needs to clean up the mess. And software isn't the only field experiencing these problems. The stakes become much higher when AI enters industries where mistakes carry real-world consequences. Healthcare offers one of the clearest examples. Artificial intelligence has become increasingly common in medical imaging, diagnostics, and clinical decision support systems. The potential benefits are enormous: faster analysis, earlier detection, improved efficiency, better outcomes, but AI systems are not infallible. They can hallucinate, they can misinterpret information, they can generate outputs that sound confident despite being incorrect. Unlike a calculator making a small arithmetic error, these mistakes can affect human lives. Medical professionals are discovering that AI works best as an assistant rather than an autonomous decision maker. Doctors remain necessary because healthcare requires judgment. Context matters, human intuition matters, responsibility matters. A machine can produce recommendations. A human must decide whether those recommendations make sense. This reveals a deeper issue at the heart of the AI revolution. Accountability. When a human employee makes a mistake, there is a clear chain of responsibility. Managers investigate, processes improve, training occurs, lessons are learned. But what happens when an AI makes a mistake? Who is responsible? The developer, the vendor, the company, the user? The answer is often unclear. The machine itself cannot be held accountable. It cannot explain its reasoning in a meaningful way. It cannot learn from consequences. It cannot face legal liability. It simply generates another answer. This concern isn't new. Decades ago, an IBM training manual included a warning that feels remarkably relevant today. A computer can never be held accountable. Therefore, a computer must never make a management decision. For years, that principle was largely ignored. Organizations increasingly delegated important decisions to algorithms: hiring, promotions, credit approvals, resource allocation, performance evaluations. The assumption was that machines would be more objective than humans. Sometimes they were, sometimes they weren't. Today, experts are warning about a phenomenon known as cognitive surrender. It occurs when people stop exercising independent judgment because they trust the machine. Instead of questioning recommendations, they simply accept them. The AI becomes the authority. The human becomes a spectator, and when the system fails, nobody notices until significant damage has already occurred. This problem is reaching some of the world's most sophisticated organizations. Even companies with enormous budgets, elite talent, and cutting-edge technology are struggling. Consulting firms have reportedly faced scrutiny after AI-assisted reports contained fabricated information. Legal professionals have submitted documents containing fictional citations generated by AI systems. Researchers have discovered invented sources that appeared completely legitimate until someone checked them. These aren't mistakes made by inexperienced users. They're occurring in organizations filled with highly educated professionals. If experts struggle to prevent AI-generated errors, what happens when smaller companies attempt to automate entire departments? The answer is becoming increasingly clear. They discover that human oversight is not optional. It is essential. So why did so many businesses rush toward automation in the first place? Part of the answer lies in incentives. AI became the most powerful corporate narrative of the decade. Investors wanted exposure. Executives wanted growth stories. Companies wanted higher valuations. Announcing an AI strategy became a way to signal innovation. Layoffs could be reframed as a technological transformation. Cost-cutting became automation. Restructuring became modernization. Sometimes the technology genuinely improved operations. Sometimes it simply provided a convenient explanation. Critics call this phenomenon AI washing. The gap between marketing and reality became difficult to ignore, and investors started asking harder questions. Where are the returns? Where is the productivity revolution? Where are the profits? Billions of dollars have been invested in generative AI initiatives, yet many organizations still struggle to demonstrate measurable financial results. The technology is powerful, but power alone does not guarantee value. Implementation matters, strategy matters, human expertise matters. This is where the conversation about AI often goes wrong. People frame the debate as humans versus machines. One side must win. The other must lose. Reality is more complicated. The most successful organizations are not replacing humans with AI. They are combining humans and AI. They use automation to eliminate repetitive work. They use human expertise to provide judgment, creativity, accountability, and strategic thinking. The machine handles the routine. The human handles the complexity. That model is proving far more effective than complete automation because, despite all its capabilities, AI still lacks something fundamental. It does not understand consequences. It predicts patterns. It generates outputs, but it does not care whether the answer is correct. Humans do. At least they should. That's why demand for certain skills is actually increasing. The organizations thriving today aren't the ones blindly automating everything. They're the ones learning where automation helps and where human judgment remains irreplaceable. The promise of AI was never that machines would eliminate people. The promise was that machines would amplify people. The companies that forgot that lesson are now paying the price. And as the AI hype cycle begins colliding with operational reality, one thing is becoming clear. Replacing humans isn't the future. Building better humans with better tools is. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. Have you seen AI replacing jobs in your industry? Or have you seen companies bringing people back after automation failed? Share your experiences in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into technology, business, and the future of work.